Have you ever opened your phone just to check one thing and suddenly 20 minutes have disappeared? You didn't plan to scroll, you didn't plan to watch video after video, but somehow your attention was pulled in, and before you know it, time is gone. If this happens to you, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world are noticing the same thing. It's becoming harder to focus. Reading a book feels more difficult. Watching a full film without checking your phone feels rare. Even simple tasks can feel harder to concentrate on. For years, people assumed this meant we were becoming lazy, but scientists are beginning to realize something different. Our brains may actually be adapting to a completely new environment, and the biggest change in that environment is the technology we carry in our pockets. Just 20 years ago, daily life looked very different. If you wanted to watch a video, you had to sit down and choose one. If you wanted information, you had to search for it. If you wanted entertainment, you had to wait for it. But today, content never stops. Open an app and something instantly appears. Another video, another headline, another notification. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube deliver an endless stream of new content every second. Your brain is constantly receiving new information. And while that might seem harmless, it's quietly changing the way your attention works. To understand why, we need to talk about a powerful chemical in the brain called dopamine. Dopamine is often described as the pleasure chemical, but that description isn't quite accurate. Dopamine is actually about motivation and anticipation. It's the signal your brain uses to say, this might be important, pay attention. Thousands of years ago, this system helped humans survive. When early humans discovered food, their brains released dopamine. When they explored a new place, dopamine increased curiosity. When they solved a problem, dopamine reinforced learning. This system rewarded discovery. But in the modern world, something unusual has happened. Technology has learned how to trigger that reward system repeatedly. Every like, every message, every new video, each one produces a small dopamine response. And when those responses happen hundreds of times per day, the brain begins to expect constant stimulation. Now imagine sitting down to do something slow, reading a book, studying, working on a difficult task. These activities provide rewards too, but they arrive slowly. Sometimes the reward might take minutes. Sometimes it might take hours. And compared to the instant stimulation of scrolling, the brain begins to see these tasks as less exciting, not because they are actually boring, but because the brain has become used to faster rewards. This leads to something psychologists call attention fragmentation. Instead of focusing on one task for a long period of time, the brain starts switching constantly. Check the phone, return to the task, check another notification, open another video, jump to something else. Over time, the brain becomes trained to expect frequent interruptions. Deep focus becomes harder. Not impossible, but harder. You may have experienced this yourself. You start reading something interesting, and after just a few minutes, you feel the urge to check your phone. Nothing important happened. There was no urgent message, but the urge appears anyway. That feeling isn't random. It's your brain searching for stimulation. Your mind has been trained to expect something new every few seconds, and when nothing happens, it starts looking for something that will. But here's the good news. The brain is incredibly adaptable. Just as it can adapt to constant stimulation, it can also adapt to slower, deeper focus. And the process begins with very small changes. For example, turning off non-essential notifications, creating short periods of time without digital distractions, reading or working without checking your phone. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. Your brain may feel restless. That's because it's adjusting. But over time, something interesting begins to happen. Your ability to focus slowly starts to return. Tasks feel easier. Concentration improves. And the constant urge to check your phone begins to fade. The modern world is full of incredible technology, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. But understanding how it affects the brain is important, because attention is one of the most valuable resources we have. It shapes what we learn, what we create, and how deeply we experience life. So sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step away from the noise. Put the phone down, allow your brain a moment of quiet, and give your attention the chance to rebuild. Because your focus was never meant to be scattered across thousands of distractions. It was meant to be used on the things that truly matter.